Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Renetta Gus Stevens, CEO of Sophisticated Press. And today we are going to be talking about writing for a low literacy world. That's right. We're going to be talking about, as an author, how do you write for a low literacy world? Before we get into our segment for the day, do me a favor. When you come in, say hello. Don't be rude. Let me know what state you're tuning in from. Also, bring your questions about your author journey. And then I want you to, just tag and share, because we are going to really help you today in how to write for a low literacy world. We're also going to be sharing some data that has came from NCES. And I want to just help you as an author to present the best book for your niche market. Quick bio about myself. I'm the CEO of this great company, Sophisticated Press. I'm also the author of 4 books: Kingdom Speaking in the Boardroom, A Dad's Redemption, 10 Ways to Eliminate Debt by Writing, and Push, Promote Until Shipping and Handling Happens. And then I am responsible for collaborating with women and men around the world that wants to share their genius in a book, that want to create multiple streams of income from a book, that want to become a part of the 5% of the world that decided to follow through and pursue their goals of completing a book. And so, welcome Facebook, welcome Instagram, welcome YouTube. If you are not following us on those social media platforms, do me a favor after this segment. Run over to YouTube and follow us. It's free mentoring. We have over 100 videos of just great information, great strategies about becoming a bestseller and becoming the best author that you can be. So make sure you go and take advantage of that free content on YouTube. So let's get started. Again, if you're here, say hello so I know who you are. Bring your questions about your book, and let's have some fun today about self-publishing. Yes, God is speaking, because I was going live about this as well. Woo woo! I love it when everyone is on the same page. So let's talk about this. It's a study that says that 43 million U.S. adults possess low literacy. So let me say that again. 43 million U.S. adults possess low literary skills. So what does that mean for you as an author? What does that mean for you as an author? Do me a favor, because I see Facebook is showing me some love. Instagram, don't let Facebook show you out, okay? Say your name, because it's not showing me who you are. So say your name too in the comments so I can know, and say what state you're tuning in from. So 43 million U.S. adults, you all, have low literacy skills. So what does that mean for the present day author? The first thing that it means, you all, is that we can no longer, I know we went to school and we had to learn vocabulary for the PSAT. We had to learn all of these big vocabularies, and we thought we had to use those words to impress the world. Well, guess what? The majority of the world don't understand that terminology and those big vocabulary words. So what it means, you all, as an author, is you may have to bring down your vocabulary a little bit when you're writing your books. I know you want to use those big words that it took you a month to learn, and you've been practicing using them in sentences. But because 43 million U.S. adults have low literacy skills, we need you to say what you need to say in the simplest form so that your audience can retain the information, retain the wisdom, retain the strategies that you are sharing in your books. In other words, don't go so deep. Don't go so deep in the vocabulary, because studies is showing us that they really have a very low literacy level of reading. And I want you to, in your books, to, sometimes when we're working with authors, they'll say, how big should my book be? And sometimes they want to have 200 pages or 150 pages. But I'm going to show you some books today Two of them that we worked on and two of them that's in the marketplace. They're small books, but they're still powerful, right? You can have a big message in a small book. Somebody type that in the comments for me. You can have a big message in a small book. So let me show you the first book. This is Becoming Esquire by Carletta Sanders. Someone add her and let her know I'm shouting her out on this live for me. So Carletta is a law student. She's also a veteran. And she wanted to write a book to help law students pass the bar and pass the LSAT. And so she wrote a pocketbook. And it's okay to have a pocketbook, you all. It's not that thick. The book has less than 100 pages. But when I tell you this book, Becoming Esquire, is so powerful, and her students are signing up for mentoring courses for her with her because she's getting to the point and she's not speaking over their head. She's not speaking over their head and becoming Esquire. So present day, since we know that we have a population that has low literacy skills, sometimes you have to do a small book. And it's okay. Your book does not have to be 200 pages. 100 pages is enough pages to say what you need to say and to get to the point. Another book, this is by Kenneth Copeland that I have by my desk, Our Covenant with God. Again, small book, right? But it has a power-packed message. I want you to think about that. Because imagine someone reading your book and it's so big and they never can finish it just because of their attention span, and we just have to pay attention to the numbers, and they're never feeling like they can accomplish it because it was just too thick. Unfortunately, that's the world that we live in now, where our niche markets, they have low attention spans. So if you want your book to be successful, I want you to bring down your terminology, maybe even shorten some of your pages and make it as simple as possible for your audience. Here's a book that Kashika McDowell did with Sophisticated Press called Abused But Not Abandoned. And in this book pages is less than 50 pages. But when I tell you, she told her testimony in 50 pages, and I was like, oh my God, I am talking to a modern day miracle. Less than 50 pages, a pocketbook, as you can see, it can fit in my hand, but still it got to the point that although you've been abused, you weren't abandoned, that God was still there for you. So it's very important to understand that 21% of the population in the world, they have a problem completing tasks. They have a problem completing tasks. Thank you. Hey, Simone, someone said, make it digestible. I love it. Make it digestible. Make your information digestible. Understand the world that we live in. They have a low literacy level. They have a hard time completing tasks. They have a hard time paraphrasing. They have a hard time contrasting information. And do you know sometimes I have a hard time as well? Why? Because I'm growing up in the same, and I'm living in the same environment that is training us, you all, to just watch videos. And some people are different learners. They're visual learners. So we have to really understand the market that we're writing for. And I said this yesterday on the live. Listen, I know we want to give them the book that we want to give them, but we got to give them the book that they're going to be able to read and be able to apply the information. So the information in it has to be presented in a way where it's digestible. I love that word. Where it's digestible. So here's something that I want you to do. This is another book, Chickens. Y'all gonna laugh at me. Let me make you laugh real quick. So Chicken Soup for the Soul, Modern Grandparenting. Now let me tell you why this is funny. Because I can't wait till I have me some grandbabies, right? So I called myself trying to speak it into existence and went and bought me a Chicken Soup of the Soul, Modern Grandparents. And my kids was like, I don't know what you buy that book for. Because I ain't about to have no kids no time soon. They was like, don't speak that over my life. I'm like, yeah, I guess that do got to be involving you. But that was a lesson. Because sometimes we want things and we don't understand the other people that it's involved in. My daughter was like, you can throw that book in the garbage. You don't need that book no time soon. I'm like, don't do me like that. You don't need that book no time soon, mama, because you ain't about to become a grandma no time soon. I was like, but in the perfect will and in due time, I'll get it. I'll get my grandbabies. But another small book, right? My daughter say, burn it. Do you see her in the comments acting up, y'all? She said, burn it. But this book is less than 100 pages. And they got the job done. Why? Because they understand we live in a world that has low literacy levels. You have your niche that will want the Harry Potter books and the big books that's 300 and 400 pages. But for the most part, people want a quick book, quick read that they can get the information for, go back into life and get to executing they want it. Any questions about that? I just thought that was really fascinating how, we go through all of these seasons and we're trying to educate ourselves so much just to understand that you almost got to speak to your niche audience in a 5th grade level, even though they have degrees. Yes, Tranisha, my kids said, not today, you won't be a modern grandparent. I'm like, dang. They're like, what you buy this book for? Modern grandparent. Ain't nobody having no babies around here. I'm like, come on, y'all. I want to be a grandmama. I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I get bored sometimes just sitting behind this desk. I want to be a grandmama. They like, not today. The devil is a lie. So any questions about that, about, any manuscripts you're working on, what is the, page you was thinking about, the width of your manuscript? Because I do want you just to be mindful of that. Don't make your books too big. Don't force it and just to have a big book, and don't feel less than if your book isn't thick, because you're actually doing your niche a favor, so they can just get the information and they can apply it and get to executing and get to telling all their friends when their friends see a difference in their life, like, you changing, you saving money, you losing weight, what's going on? Oh, I read this book by Tanisha and it was so full of just strategies and tips, and I've been executing on these tips, and girl, that's why you see me getting my life together. You want them to complete the book so they can really begin now to rave and become an advocate for you. So Tanisha says, I felt like that because my last book was small, but my pastor told me it had a big message. Absolutely. Big things really do come in small packages. Big things really do come in small packages. If you say what needs to be said and you get to the point, you don't have to have 150 pages. You don't have to have 200 pages. As long as that book can help one person, oh, that's a successful manuscript. Because all it takes is one person to change the world. That one person started doing something, then the next person pay it forward, then the next person pay it forward, and that one person then started a whole movement of change. So no, your book does not have to be big at all. Okay? So do me a favor, you all. If you have any questions, put them in there, but I'm finna start plugging our stuff because I want you to be aware of what's going on in our community. This Saturday If you didn't get your ticket, you missed out. But our nonprofit Sophisticated Synthesis is having our first paint and sip apple juice with the kids. I can't wait to be a part of that. Make sure that you follow our nonprofit page, Sophisticated Synthesis. Next, I want you to go on your podcast platform. If you have Apple, I want you to go to the podcast sign, and I want you to follow our podcast, Sophisticated Synthesis. Me and my daughter, we have a podcast, and we be keeping you updated on all of the latest media that is changing the world and creating the dialogue that needs to be created so that we can embrace diversity. It's 2021. It's time to embrace diversity. I want you also to sign up for our community text group. Our community text group, we're going to start doing some big things with that. So if you have not signed up for our text group, I want you to sign up for that. I'll be putting the number in our comments. I don't have it on me right now. Kiera, if you have it, put the number in the comments. Become a part of our text group, our community, so that way you can stay updated. And if you ask me a question, guess what? I'm responding. I'm actually responding to the text message. And then lastly, what do we have here on my list? If you know someone who needs to write a book, I want you to encourage them to contact us. But when they contact us, y'all, make sure they're ready to pay. Because we got to stop telling people what we're ready to do. And then when someone gives you the price, it's like, oh, it costs? Yeah, dreams are free, reality costs. So share us with your business besties, but make sure they are ready to execute and ready to put down a deposit to get started to invest in their dreams. Because this is 2021. There's no reason why you can't be able to just go for it. Just go for it. Yeah. So Kiera put it in the comments. Hey, it's your favorite publisher, Renetta from Sophisticated Press. I want to give you direct access to me through this number. It's 630-381-6769. Please, please, please sign up for that. No, it's not free, but I'll say this really quick, you all, and I want you to always remember this. When you pay for something, you actually get more for your money. Like when I pay for something, I get a warranty. I get a refund policy with it. If it's a refund policy, I get all types of things versus when someone gives you something for free. When you pay for your services with Sophisticated Press, they're a tax write-off. They also help you to understand business because you're coming into business. So I think that a lot of authors that I'm working with, they don't understand that every business should have a book and every book is a business. So the first rule of business is money has to be exchanged for a service. If you're not making money or if money is not being exchanged, it's a hobby. It's not a business. So that's the first introduction of business. Yes, you want to write a book. I want you to write that book. God told you to write a book. He wants you to write that book. But he also wants you to pay for it. And sometimes he just wants to see if you're willing to invest in what he gives you to do. And he'll just make a way. I've seen him do it time after time. Everything God tells me to do, I can't afford it. But I can afford the down payment. And God sometimes just want to see, can I afford the down payment? And when I put that down payment on it, somehow, some way, the money comes. And I'm able to complete the work that he has given me because it's his responsibility to give you the resources, but it's your responsibility to make the first move on what he tells you to do. Now, I was thinking about this the other day, y'all. Y'all got to help me. So I know as a publisher, I shouldn't, most publishers don't mix God and work together. I understand that. But you all, it's just in me. So I'm not going to apologize for talking about God because it's just in me. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today talking to you, being a publisher. So I just want to say I'm not pushing Christianity on anyone, but because I know where my platform come from. I know how I got this platform. You all, you can't really talk to me longer than 15 and 20 minutes without me mentioning God. I don't care if I'm in Walmart, because I know who I'm working for. See, I'm not just working for me, I'm working for God. And most people that come to me, they know that God gave you this vision to write your book. And so my job is to help you not only write the book and publish the book, but then for it to be successful. That's why we're going to be coming on here live every day now and just giving you some tips on how to be the best self-publisher, because I don't want you to be happy with 50 sales. I don't want you to be happy with 100 sales. I want you to be happy when you become a household name. And then when you become a household name, I want you to write another book and become a bigger household name. So we're not going to stop until you are God's trophy piece in the world. Is that all right? Is that all right for me to help you become God's trophy piece in the world? Because I don't know if you know, but the devil got a lot of trophy pieces in the world. So it's time for some Christians, some Christian writers, to be a trophy piece in the world for God. That's all we're trying to do, is make sure that your book is successful. Make sure you know as an author how to present your book, how to market your book, how to promote your book, how to be confident about when you say your book price, how to create 7 streams of income from your book. But in order to do that, you're going to have to know your niche market. And your niche market, probably, even though they may be educated, when they're retaining information, and when you're talking to the masses, they have a low literacy rate. So we're going to bring it down to the simplest terms. We're not going to make our books as big unless it's absolutely necessary. And we're going to get this information into their life. All right? Well, listen, you all, that's what I have for you today. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for your interaction. And you know how we end it here, Sophisticated Press. Listen, we love you so much with the love of Jesus Christ. We are so proud of you, and we know you can do it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.